Hello, and welcome to another video. So we're gonna start with breakfast in bed because my husband brought me breakfast in bed. He made this little, I think he said it was called egg in a basket that I can't make, but he can make. And he made it for me. It's absolutely delicious. But since I'm not going to be at home for the summertime, especially during the week, I am going to take it upon myself to do all of my household chores. And the first one is cleaning our bathroom. Now, in my home, we share the load. Like my husband and I share the load on doing chores. He likes to do the laundry. We share the load on dishes, just different chores, just depending on what's going on in the house for the week. We'll share the load on the chores. But the bathroom is one that I like to clean myself because I like to clean the bathroom. Like I be getting down on my hands and knees and cleaning the borders, and you guys know, like stepping inside the shower to clean it. Not saying my husband doesn't clean the bathroom, because he does, but I like to clean the bathroom the way that I like the bathroom to be clean, if you know what I mean. Okay, so I got in here. This took me a little minute because I had to like organize some of my things, and yeah, just clean it real nice. Clean it up real nice. I did also put on like my PPE, which was gloves, but I actually ripped them at the end, so I had to take them off, a mask, and eye protection, because I went ahead and mixed this Ajax with a toilet bowl cleaner, which has bleach in it, and it smelled real like strong, and our bathroom doesn't have window in it, so until I like got rid of all that chemical in the bathroom, I went ahead and put my mask and stuff on, because it's better to be safe than sorry. Also, a part of me cleaning up the bathroom is restocking our products. These are things that I house underneath the sink, and I just restock them whenever they get low. And usually by the time it's time for me to clean the bathroom, like deep clean the bathroom again, they'll be low, so I'll go ahead and restock them. Another thing is all of my facial supplies. So I just decided to put all of the facial supplies that I'm not currently using inside of this little bin because I get tired of seeing it all. So anything that I don't use that's on here, I try to put it inside of the drawer. I am going to be like redoing my facial routine, like buying some new products here soon, so I'm excited to share that with you guys. But as of right now, I'm just putting away what I don't use and then organizing what I do use, and also cleaning off this little thing because it gets real dusty. The whole bathroom gets really dusty because we use like incense as air freshener because it works really well, but it does bring a lot of dust into the bathroom. So Kennedy has a lot to say about what kind of hairstyle she wants, but she is not, any good help as far as picking out the hairstyle. If I show her some pictures, she probably would help me out, but just like, hey, tell me what hairstyle you want. She's not really old enough. She doesn't get a concept. So I'm just taking some time to look for a hairstyle just to get a little inspiration. I cannot braid, like I can't scalp braid. I can twist to the scalp. So girl, something real easy is what I look for. And I like to look for hairstyles that will last a little longer. She's been wearing the braids for a while, so I want to do something different, but braids is her go-to style because you're gonna see here in a second, she has a lot of hair, but it's very fine. You're gonna see. Hold on, just hold, okay? So I'm trying to find her hairstyle that won't leave me doing hair every single morning if I don't need to. So y'all know we sit down on the floor and do hair. She usually has her iPad and her pacifier and all that kind of good stuff, but I'm just taking down the hair before we go in and wash. And she likes to participate, so I'm just having her, she's counting the beads and putting them inside the little bead holder. I'm just taking and loose the hair. This is my least favorite part about braiding her hair, is actually taking it down. Like, on top of it taking forever to braid it, I don't like taking it down either. And she doesn't like it either. She does not like to get her hair washed. She doesn't mind getting it combed, but she does not like to get it washed. And another thing is, like, you see how much hair she has? Her hair is very hard to, like, it's low porosity, so it's hard to get the water inside of, and therefore hard to get moisture inside of her hair. I have low porosity hair too, so I know all the tricks. And one of the tricks is to blow dry the hair so the product can, like, you know, the heat can open up the pores of the hair and the product can seep in. This is one of my favorite products for my hair. I'm still trying to figure out, like, the best pair of things for her hair. And you're going to hear me talking to her in a second. She does not like the sound of the blow dryer. So once she had enough, I was like, you know what? Forget it. We had enough together. Like, I don't want her getting her hair done to be a stressful thing, because it shouldn't be, okay? I want her to learn to love her hair in any state that it's in, really. And if the state is causing you to be stressed out, baby, you don't need to do it. The blow dryer is made?
Yes. I just want no more.
No more? You done?
Yes. I need to cut it on my hair.
Okay, Kennedy, what do you want me to do here then? You don't want me to blow dry it anymore?
No.
Okay.
Let me try it.
Huh?
I mean this one.
You want bubbles?
Yes.
Okay, sit down for bubbles.
Okay.
Turn around the other way.
Okay.
All right, so now you can see better. Her hair looks dry, like it is dry. It gets dry easily, and because it gets so dry, it looks like she has more, I guess, fuller hair than she actually has. If you can look at the back of her neck, like how the hair is laying down, her hair is pretty fine. And it doesn't curl. Like, if I take my hair and I wet my hair and I put like gel or product in my hair, you'll be able to see curls. Her hair is more like my husband's hair, in that his hair is like, it's almost like poofy. It's kind of like a little cotton ball. It's just different. It's still, you know, yucky textured hair, but it just doesn't curl in the way that my hair does. So I just have to do different styles with her hair. And doing things like this, like putting a bubble on it and pulling the hair tight, her hair does not do well with being tight. Like, it will literally start to come out from the follicle. So I guess that has to do with it being fine and all that kind of stuff. Like, it just doesn't, tight hairstyles don't do well with homegirl. So I'm just doing this little 4-plait to give her hair a break from the style that I usually have. I want it to be cute and easy at the same time, because baby, she will critique my hairstyle when we're done. I'm working with her on that, because girl, this hairstyle is free, so you really get to say too much. But I do try to make her hair very cute, because she likes it. Yeah, she likes her hair being cute, and I like her hair being cute too. So I always try a new hairstyle, and this was our first time trying this hairstyle, and I liked it. So after I was done her hair, my husband made some lunch. And yes, I say my husband makes my food a lot, because he is, you know, that's what he does, like, for a living, and he likes to make me food. After I started eating my food, I went and sat in the living room. I'm really loving my new couch placement. Just watching me a sermon, relaxing. This is what I do. I sit down, I relax, okay? Drinking my nice cold beverage while Kennedy is taking her bath. But look at all of this stuff that Kennedy has on this bathtub. Like, it's doing a lot. But anyway, I went ahead and put this bracelet in my bag for tomorrow. I made it for my coworker, and I made a big old mess because I filmed it and I just took all my stuff out. So I'm going to actually go ahead and clean up that mess so that I can go with the next part of my day and also wake up to a clean space in the morning. So I contemplated on whether I should show you what I did before this point or just tell you. And I'm gonna go ahead and just tell you. I literally spent about 2/3 hours worshiping. It just didn't feel right to record my worshiping, but I do want to be like very open with you guys. That's what I do. I spend a lot of time worshiping, and I realized I told you guys the other day that I play the Oculus, like I was playing the Oculus to unwind. Baby, the real unwinding is me worshiping. The real unwinding is literally me opening up my word, listening to my sermons, listening to worship music, getting on my knees, thanking God for the day, asking God what is in the day. Like, that's the real unwinding. So I definitely want to make that clear. I don't want you to think it's all fun and games, all making beads and all doing crafts and all playing games. That there's a real atmosphere of worship and a real posture of like, God, what is it that you want me to do for today and every single day that I wake up in the morning? And this day was no exception. Even though I was resting, what I was doing in this diary, I'll call it diary journal entry, is I was actually writing down the dream that I had the previous night. So that's also something that I like to do. Usually I do it on my phone, but I also like to write it down. And like I said, I'm really loving the placement of my couch just facing the window. It's very peaceful to me. I was listening to some lo-fi beats and just relaxing, writing, getting my thoughts out on the paper, because I did mention to you guys, that's something that, you know, with a new job that's a bit stressful, a bit more stress than I'm used to in my day, just amping up the stress ever so slightly, you definitely have to have a replenishment strategy and also a way that you hear from God. You know what I mean? So I didn't want to leave that out because it's definitely a very big part of the day. Alexa. 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 Stop. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and put on my uniform. We have to wear this specific, we have to wear a dress code. So certain kind of pants, certain color pants, and the shirt. So putting on clothes in the morning is really easy. I like to get dressed before I get Kennedy dressed, just so I don't have to keep coming back and forth in the room. Gotta put on my deodorant, perfumes, lotion, all that kind of jazz. Actually, this morning, I'm going to go ahead and go in the bathroom because I have to work my first full shift. So I don't think I get off till like 6:30, depending on when the last child leaves. I'm going to go ahead and drink some water so that I can get all my bathroom breaks out this morning, because I have about 3 hours until it's time for me to go. And before I indulge in some coffee, I definitely want to get some hydration. I had 4 of these yesterday, so I'm good on hydration. But girl, it's easy to get dehydrated, especially when you're going outside in the Texas heat. So while I'm drinking my water, I'm actually going to start washing my face. And after that, I'm going to head into the front. The kids are both sleeping, so I love to enjoy this quiet moment in the morning to myself. I'm listening to my sermon. I'll listen to music. Most of the time it's a sermon, but I can listen to music too. And I'm going to prepare my breakfast. No, I'm not normally a breakfast eater, but I only get 1 lunch break at work. So eating breakfast is essential when I'm outside the house, because I don't want to be hungry. Because when I'm hungry and I leave work, I make bad choices. That's just the way it goes. So this has been my go-to breakfast for the last week. It's delicious. I do not have any avocado, which I had previously, but as long as I have potatoes, eggs, and cheese, it's a go for me, and some sort of meat. So last week I used sausage, cheesy sausage. But we don't have sausage, so I just went ahead and cut up some lunch meat. You're going to see here in a second, literally cut it up using the kitchen shears. So while that is going in the air fryer, I'm going to sit down and put my eye mask over my eyes. This just helps, especially, girl, when you have a long night of worship, so I don't have puffy eyes. I don't go to work looking all crazy. I'm just going to put this over my eyes. And then I'm going to open up the front part of the house so that I can sit on the couch and do some writing here in a second. Again, I'm not going to show you all the worship, writing, all those things, because I don't feel like that's authentic, but I am letting you know it is what's going on, okay? So then I'm going to go back after the air fryer is done to make my breakfast. Kennedy loves eggs in the morning. It's her go-to breakfast. She doesn't have to have anything else. And she comes too late at school to eat, so I make sure that she has breakfast before she goes. And here I am snipping up that lunch meat because we don't have any other meat aside from ground meat, and I don't feel like cooking ground meat. But this was actually delicious. I know I'm making a mess, but Kennedy likes her cheese on the side, so I went ahead and put her cheese on the side. Can you tell she has a lot of requests? Anyway, so I'm actually going to go ahead and make my coffee. This is the syrup that I got from Ross for $3.99. To be honest, I can't taste it in the coffee, even though I put 3 capfuls. It says it's 0 sugar, but I'm beginning to think it's like no sugar at all. Like, it's just an illusion flavor because I didn't taste it at all. I went ahead also and put my creamer in. I used to get the zero calorie creamers, but honestly, it doesn't matter. I just put the one that tastes good inside of my coffee. And then here is my breakfast. I don't know if it look good, but it really does taste good. So at this point, we know Kennedy's more than capable of putting on her own lotion, her clothes, her socks, her shoes, all that kind of stuff. But I just use it sometimes in the morning to like spend a little time with her, like our little moment together. So sometimes I actually will put on her lotion for her and her socks and shoes while she tells me about, I don't know, whatever she be talking about, girl. I'll be listening. So I talked about this earlier. I'm just using grease and water. Girl, you know, back in the day, grease and water to touch up her hair. Blue Magic grease at that. Just kind of combing out the edges. I did not like redo the top part just because, like I said, her hair doesn't like to be tight. Okay, so I can't keep redoing the top. It's just not gonna work out well. So I'm just retwisting it, putting it in a different style. And yeah, she still sucks a pacifier, girl. Who you judging? You judging you? You judging you. Okay, don't worry about her or me or us. Okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and pack our bags because we're about to get ready to go. Here's our water bottle. They don't have to have the water bottle. They keep things cold, but it's really hot outside and it just makes sense to me. So I went ahead, packed her water bottle, make sure that her sleeping bag and stuff is in her bag, and we are ready to go. Here's my little bag that I showed you guys. I put my library books in there, but still have yet to return the books to the library. I'm so disgusted with myself. Like, I don't know. It's just, I'm not going to check out anymore. I'm going to return those and I'm not going to do anymore. I had to stop by the mailbox because my husband bought this little megaphone for me, which I definitely wanted to whistle, but... Hello, good morning. So it is 8:58 and I am headed to work this morning. As you guys saw, I wanted to get a whistle. My husband decided to get this little, I think called megaphones. It doesn't have any batteries, so hopefully I don't have to shout anyone's name today. I really want this because last time I worked at a center, like a larger center, when it was time to call the kids when we were outside, like literally my voice, and I need my voice, so I'm not gonna mess up my vocal cords. So I wanted to get like a whistle or something. My husband said that one was good, but I need batteries for it. So we're headed to work this morning. This is my first I think I mentioned it. This is my first day of like having my, so this is the summer camper's first day. So this will be my first day having my own group. So I'm a bit excited, if I'm honest. I did put my holes in today. So let's talk about this for a second, because I hope I don't get in trouble, because we'll have a further conversation about this. I usually will put closed ears in, but I realized, like, why am I doing that? This is not the Army. This is usually the kids ask questions about it. Can you turn it down for me? Thank you. Usually kids ask questions about my ears, or people ask questions about them, and that's just fine with me. But to tell me I can't wear them, it's a bit much. So it would, you know, make a further conversation if someone does say something about them. I had closed ones when I went into the interview, and I'm wearing closed ones up until now. But I just hope it's just not a problem. You know what I mean? Because when someone can't accept all your little things, it does make you feel just a hair type of way. So there's that. I say all that to say that. But we're headed to work. I do need to stop by the library. These books are overdue at this point. Remember what I told y'all about my husband's good library credit, and mine too? I need to take those books back to the library, but I can't do that this morning because I have about 30 minutes before my shift starts. I will be early, but I like to be early and just kind of sit there, chill with Kennedy, and gather my thoughts before I go into the building. I don't know how this is gonna go. I don't know if I'm really gonna be there until 6:30. I don't know how it's gonna work. They didn't give me any plan as far as like, I don't want to call it a lesson plan, because the kids are really like, it's like structured play. I don't have any of the papers or anything like that. So this is going to be very interesting. Definitely not I like to be prepared for things. But hey, what's a girl to say? What's a girl to say? So I will see you guys maybe some point in the day, maybe later on. My lunch is already at work from Friday, from the little event that we had. I left my lunch kit there because I left and ate lunch. So hopefully my lunch is still good. If not, I won't eat until it's time to go home. But I'm pretty sure it's still good because it's in the refrigerator. So I'll see you guys later. Now don't judge me for this refrigerator, because I'm not in charge of cleaning it, but it's definitely really disgusting at the bottom. But it's my lunch time. We get an hour for lunch, sometimes an hour and 30 minutes when my other teacher starts next week. So I'm excited about that, because girl, it's definitely necessary. I'm just gonna go ahead and take my lunch out and heat it up and sit and eat. Now this iPad is what we use to do all of our charting and stuff. And no, I don't want to make a practice out of doing it during lunchtime, but if it's the only time that it can get done, girl, what do you want me to do? Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead, eat my lunch that actually spilled on me, and do the charting so that when I go back to my class, everything's ready to rumble. So only because the biggest part of my meal actually spilled on the floor and I was unable to eat it, I went ahead and got this muffin.
Thank you.
Girl, face real crusty, okay? I'm here in my car. I just decided to take the rest of my lunch break in my car. I'm going to use that little thermos that I have, because I actually would rather eat my lunch in my car. That's just me. I'm looking for some wipes to clean my face, girl. So how is the morning going so far? Nobody said anything about my ears. I love that for them. I love that for me. I am actually with the older kids today, but my group starting next week is going to be with the younger kids. When I say younger, I mean like they're kindergartners, which I don't mind. I kind of like them better because older kids tend to have like smart mouths, okay? And this group, they're not playing with me like that, honestly. I'm not gonna play with people's kids like that. We having a good time, but I let them know, like, a good time don't mean you get to be disrespectful. So just as long as we're there and we're clear, we're gonna have ourselves a good time this summer. The babies, you know, they're a little different. They just need a lot of attention and things like that. But I'm with the big kids. We just finished bowling. We were having fun. I ain't gonna sit here and tell you everything that we did, but just know that we all having ourselves a good time. They did have one little boy in the class, and he was kind of, she took him off to go take some medicine, so he was kind of trying to blow up like that. But I said, you know what, you gonna calm down. So before the lady came in, the boy was basically like, I was sitting in that seat and she needs to get up. And I'm like, no, well, let's work this out. Let's see, you know, does she want to move next to you in the seat? And I'm trying to talk to her like that. So the lady who works in the front, she comes and kind of tries to override what I'm saying, and she turned the whole thing like up on 10. It wasn't on 10 before she came there, and she made it on 10 based on like his old behaviors, I guess. She just automatically assumed he was doing that again, and I had it under control. So I really didn't like the fact that I'm not really big on, like, if I can't control the situation, like if you're leaving me in charge of the classroom and then you're going to decide that you want to come like pop in here and there and then kind of disrupt what I'm doing, you do it. You do it. Get somebody else to do it. Get somebody else to do it, okay? So that's what that is. We're going to watch that situation closely. And I'm going to stop saying, like, I don't have time for that, because, like I said before, if God doesn't give me an okay to move around, I'm going to make time for it, okay? And that's just what it is. But I do not like stuff like that, if I'm honest. Like, girl, if I'm in charge of it, let me be in charge of it. And if you think you can do it better, then do it better. And then it was very, I'm just going to say this because I can. It was getting very much disorganized this morning. I didn't get any of my lesson plans prior to, it's my little hat now. I didn't get any of my lesson plans prior to today, so I really didn't know what I was doing. Some of the games that they gave me for this morning was like, I never even read the instructions. I have no clue how to play it. The kids don't know how to play it, and then the game says only 4 to 5 people, and there's like 16 kids in here. So stuff like that, I don't like when people do stuff like try to be assertive with stuff and it don't make any sense, because I like stuff to be very planned out. But as I told you guys before, you know, I'm here to watch, okay? I'm here to do a job, but over doing a job, I'm here to pay attention, and that's what I'm doing, okay? So how do I look? Should I keep on my other glasses? This is gonna be my little cap. Let's see. This cap's kind of tight. I'm gonna wear these. I'm gonna keep these on, and I'm gonna think I'm gonna bring these glasses. But yeah, so that was that. That was interesting. But today is not over. Oh, here's some more glasses. Today's not over. This is more my speed. Let me make sure I can clean them off though. All right, I'm gonna talk to y'all when I get off from work. It's 5:45 and I'm going home. I'll tell y'all about the day later on. Oh my God, this was dinner. Dinner was so delicious. So delicious, in fact, I actually ate it 2 more times after this because it was that good. I love avocados and all that kind of good stuff. So here we are at the next morning. I am just writing out like all the little activities that I can do with the kids. I've already explained to you why I'm doing this, but I'm also going to go ahead and print some of the Mad Libs and just find little activities that I have here at my home so that I can keep the kids entertained and have fun, because it is the summertime. I do want them to have fun, even if the center hasn't provided the things as they should. That's not really my business. I know it is kind of my business, but as long as I'm in the classroom, I'm going to make sure that the parents are getting their money's worth. So that's what I'm doing, printing out some stuff. Also had this little book that I had when I was subbing, and it was a hit, okay? It was a hit. So I'm actually going to allow the kids to make bracelets. I'm choosing a bunch of beads that I have, like the ones that, you know, not my favorite beads. They're just little, they're bigger, so they don't need like beading needles. And I'm making a whole little beading kit, and I'm going to set it up once I get to work. This also was a hit, okay? I took little sandwich bags, and they were able to make their own, like choose their colors. I scooped them out. We used these as bead stoppers. And like I said, yeah, I bought a bunch of colors. They had fun with it. I have the older kids, so I can do things like beads, but it was a hit. Get your backpack on. So let me turn this down. I've heated up my lunch, and I'm sitting in my car, and I have a towel and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna have a little chit chat. It's very hot, so there's that. Hope you can still hear me over the AC. Hold on, let me get my headphones. Okay. You know what? We're not even going to. I was gonna sit here and tell you the story and do all that, but I'm not gonna do that because that's neither here nor there. We're not gonna go there because I could, but I'm not. Let me just make a general comment. I don't think it's a good idea to have a bunch of kids in one classroom at one time, under any circumstances. Some of the stuff that I'm hearing these kids talk about. One boy, and he's a little, the boy I told you about yesterday, basically was trying to sit here and tell the people that you can make up whatever you want to make up. Nothing really exists. Nothing is definite. And to a certain extent, I understand what he's saying. That's true. But this is kind of what we've created, the mess that we've created when we start telling children they can do things like choose their gender. They begin to see that even things that are definite, like you are a boy or you are a girl, can be indefinite in my eyes if I choose to be so. So he was sitting here trying to convince the other kids that numbers don't exist. That you can make, it can be whatever you want it to be. You can just make stuff up. And I didn't get in the conversation because that's not something I'm going to do. I'm just sitting here having a conversation with you guys, letting you know, yeah, this is the kind of stuff that we are going to have to deal with. And this is very much on a low scale. But just seeing the children and the stuff that they're doing, they're talking about, they're dealing with at this young age, really, it doesn't scare me. But it is scary for their futures. And not just their futures, but the future of my generation, because these are the kids that's going to be taking care of us. It's disheartening. I don't know how else you want me to say that. The girl who's with me, she has like a lot of kids right now, and it's just, there's no way that anyone can really deal with. I think about 4 kids is a lot. It's enough. I ain't gonna say a lot. Once you start getting over like 6, 7 kids, especially the younger age groups, it's just a mess. And kids with who have special needs. I have a special needs sibling. Like, I don't knock any of that. I understand. I have a special needs sibling. I've been around special needs kids. My son is high functioning, autistic. Like, I understand. But as a parent, I feel like it's your job to assess the needs of your child and see what environments they fit best in. If your child has special needs and you know they don't like to be around people, why you keep trying to force them to be around people? It don't make any sense. All for your ego and because it makes you feel better about you. That little boy would not be upset if he had to stay home doing his thing. And obviously you have the money because you brought him to this center. Get a nanny. Get somebody who will just be in there with him one-on-one. Stop trying to make him into something that he's not. And making other people suffer because of it. So, I'm just seeing a lot of that. It's disheartening because at the end of the day, yeah, it's an issue, but behind the issue is actually, it's a child issue, but behind the child issue is actually a parent issue that's going to turn into a child's life. The child's then going to be an adult, and it's going to turn into an adult issue, and then we all look at it like, oh, he act like this, and oh, she act like this. No, but behind them acting like that is still a child that was treated like this. That's the part that's disheartening to me. But it's like, can you really elicit a change when you're in such a large environment like this? And I don't think so. I don't think so. So I don't know what to say. I'm gonna enjoy my lunch, close out the day, and I'll talk to y'all later. But can you tell You've been here a while, you know. Tone of my voice. Okay? Good morning. Good morning. Is it giving a day at the beach? I have on my little swimsuit, but I can't walk in on my arms out and stuff because there's nothing. So I'm headed to work this morning. It's a lovely Thursday. After today, I'm going to see you guys, well, on Friday. Yeah, so I've seen you the whole week, and I love that for us. What are my thoughts for today? I really have to set my sights, set my mind, and really get rid of, you know, like when you go into something and it's just nothing like you expected it to be. I'm going to refrain from saying negative things that are not like, you remember like yesterday I talked to you about a little boy and then kind of like just a lesson that I learned for the day. We're going to stick to lessons that I learned for the day and not directly talk about the place that I am, like the place that I'm working at, because this is not just one, you know, this is not an anomaly. This is not just this place. It's everywhere. It's everything. It's everywhere. And I want to just sit in a place of gratitude for being able to position my mind to above the foolishness that's going on around and still have a good time with the kids. I don't have any lesson plans today. Like, I didn't bring anything. We're having a foam party today. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get any pictures. That's why I'm wearing this outfit. And Kitty has on her swimsuit too. She looks so cute. But she has on like clothes to cover up the swimsuit, and I packed her towel. You saw that. I packed her towel, all that kind of good stuff. I just want to refrain from getting aggravated and agitated about stuff because there's nothing that I can do about it. Okay? And yeah, it's unfortunate that there's nothing that I can do about it, but there's nothing that I can do about it. And I don't have, what's wrong, Kenny? You okay? I don't have any like additional papers. I was going to print off some papers for my book that I have, but I'm like, I don't even know which pictures they would want to draw. And I couldn't order anything from Amazon. I want to order those little, I don't know if you remember the little colored sacks. They're like little squares, so we can play like hot potato and games like that. I'm going to buy them for next week, but I don't have them currently. And I know you're thinking, Tanzania, I mean, this facility is like $1 million facility. They spend a lot of money on this facility. Okay, I can guarantee it's like state-of-the-art child care. And yet, I don't even have a pen to make the kids cookies on. So I got to go in there this morning and tell the kids, like, oh, Miss Tanny doesn't have a pen, but my husband is going to donate. So, you know, he does the culinary program for the high school, and he's over the culinary program, so he knows all the inventory, all that kind of stuff. He's going to donate some, like, half sheet pens and things like that to them, and I'm just going to bring it in. I'm not going to tell management or anything like that. I don't need anybody to be like, oh, she bought it. No, I don't need none of that. I just want the kids to actually enjoy the activities that they want to enjoy. Okay, so I'm going to bring in some sheet pens, and I'm just going to work like that. I'm going to take this day by day, and hopefully all of the days that I take by day accumulate to a full summer. Okay. I will say though that I'm with the older kids right now. They haven't told me if they're gonna change my group for next week. And then my girl Alexis, like I say my girl, but she's my coworker. We're working together. But she's having a baby, so like I said, they're supposed to be switching us to the younger group. I don't know how that's gonna work out, but we'll talk about that when it gets there. Day by day, honey. Day by day. Day by day by day by day. It's so beautiful. Oh no, don't lift up your shirt. It's so beautiful. Such a beautiful swimming suit, Kenny. What did we say this morning? What did we say this morning? I said I was gonna say something. I was gonna say positive. I was gonna say positive thing. Is that what I was gonna say? Is that what happened? Oh God. Okay, Tanzania. Find a happy place. Find a happy place. Girl, no, I'm gonna tell you the truth. A sham. Okay, a sham. I just don't know where to begin. I'm just not even gonna begin. I said what I had to say. You get it. You get it. You get it. The phone party was a blast. I wish I had pictures to show you, but I'm not allowed to bring my phone. So I don't have any pictures to show you, unfortunately. I'd love to, but can't. Hold on. I'm gonna turn around here. Hold on. All right, so first of all, Kennedy, on my lunch break, I actually took Kennedy with my husband because she was crying when she saw me after the phone party, and I didn't want nobody to have to deal with her. However she was feeling, she likes to be at home, so cool. You know, she doesn't mind going home. If she has to check out, she doesn't care. So I went ahead and checked her out and brought her with my husband, and then I came back to finish my shift, which I'm really glad that I did check her out because she would have been like this late. She'd have been one of the last kids there. And you know, I still have the same thoughts. I don't want to tell you the lessons that I learned just yet, but I do want to say this: like, daycare is no place for kids. Daycare is no place for kids, especially if you're not at the daycare. Okay, it doesn't matter how beautiful it looks. It's just no place for kids. Now, can I speak for an in-home daycare? Because, you know, I had an in-home daycare. I will still say that some children just don't do well in very structured environments. Now, my daycare was structured in a way that we did certain things at a certain time, and that was fun. If I had to do it all over again, I would let the kids have even more freedom to just be however they want to be. That's not destructive, because I think teaching kids like boundaries and just a way to behave and how do you behave in certain environments is good. Like, okay, we're going on the field trips. Well, you know, we can't run around and do something like that. Miss Tansy has to count you and keep track of you. I think that it's appropriate to teach kids how to behave in certain situations. I don't think that they should be constricted environment. These kids would be bored. They're bored, and their parents are literally like, by the time the summer's over, they will have paid upwards of $3,000 for daycare. I said it. $3,000 upwards, above $3,000. Some of these kids, there's multiple kids here at the center. It's like, dude, you're spending all this money for what? To go and work a job that don't really care about you. It's just wow. I know I sound like a broken record at this point in time, but it's like, is it worth all that? Is you dropping your child off, the first one in here in the morning time, and you're the last person to pick them up at 6 o'clock? Is it really worth all of that? Is it worth missing that much of their life? Like, is it worth it? Is the job worth it? Is you living in this big house? Is it worth it? Is it worth it to drive the BMW? Is it worth it? And I feel like the answer is no. It's not worth it. You don't even know these kids at this point in time. And I do understand that we all have to make a living, but at what cost? What cost? What cost? At what cost? What is it profiting you? What cost? It's just a question that we have to ask ourselves. So my husband is texting me, asking me, am I okay? So let me call him. And we're going to end this video tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to go to work tomorrow, just to be honest with you. I kind of want to finish out the week at least, but I don't know if I will return, because I will never be comfortable being a scam artist. That's like, you see the little scams and stuff on TV. Well, if you know you're scamming people and you just keep on going, you're just as much a part of the problem. I won't. Just the way that I'm set up, I'm not okay scamming people. I'm not okay with it. And if your money is so long that it has you blinded to the fact that you're being scammed, that's up to you. But I won't be a part of it. So I don't know if I'm going to finish out tomorrow. I can't feel a Monday in my spirit. I'm definitely going to have to pray about it, but I don't feel a Monday in my spirit. I don't even feel tomorrow in my spirit, honestly. Honestly. Girl, I'm going to talk to you later. Hello, good morning. I'm back in my little seat that I absolutely love. Sometimes this little seat, this little area, this little place has me feeling like, man, maybe I'm not doing enough. Maybe I need to get up and move a little faster and do a little more. And it's so funny how God keeps bringing me right back to this seat. With the realization that he is Lord. He's Lord over my life, and I pray that you allow him to be Lord over your life too. But he's Lord. And I will never, ever, ever, ever give up my position in life to fulfill something that I think that I want. I won't do that. And yeah, I'm sitting here with you. I'm about to be 30 this year. Pretty soon. I'm excited about it. 10 years ago, let's say 20-year-old Tanzania, I definitely wouldn't have this mindset. I stayed in places too long and suffered. And then I came out of the place and the suffering, wondering, what's going on with me. And now I realize I don't have to explain to anyone why I'm moving away from something. But I'm going to explain to you because we've been talking. You've got a chance to see my whole week. And I want to close out this video. I won't. I won't compromise what I believe to be right and to be true. I don't feel like that's something that God would want me to do, and I don't need to do that. So the place that I was working at, I said I was going to keep it positive, but I typed up my little resignation letter and sent it to them, and that's really all I owe them. I have been bringing in activities from home to keep the kids busy. The kids, their parents pay $300 a week. And I pay $150 a week for my daughter. So they pay $300 a week to send their children there with the hopes that they are entertained. I'm going to get the schedule. Hold on. All right. So I'm not going to show the school name, but with the hopes that they're entertained. All of this stuff on this schedule, they all have activities. So I don't know if you can see when you go in a certain room, there's an activity tied to the room. We did, out of this whole week, we did none of these activities. The only thing that they actually did was the foam party because they had an outside vendor come in, but none of the other things have been done. So the parents think they're getting this, and I'm actually sitting down in a classroom correcting behaviors all day. And to somebody, you're like, baby, get your check. That's not a problem. Like, be there with the kids and do whatever. But the kids don't really want to be there either. So I just feel like I'm feeding a problem. I think the bigger issue here is one that I talked about before. You have to look at your life and say, why am I away from my children 10 hours a day? What have I done in my life that makes this job, making money more important than the children that God has entrusted to me? And I'm saying this like literally from the heart because I didn't always have this mindset. I was very much, let me do what I want. Let me get this done. Let me get this done. It don't matter. I was one of those people, so I understand. But I'm talking to you, and I hope that we come to the realization sooner rather than later of what we're actually doing to our children. And like I said, these children they're like in a different tax bracket, you know what I mean? Their parents definitely have a bit more money, but they work a lot more. The kids are not really engaged with the simple things in life, like playing with Play-Doh and doing beads and building puzzles. Stuff me as an adult. I'm about to be 30 years old, and as an adult, some of those things can keep me entertained. And there's nothing wrong with video games. I have a son who plays video games, who loves to play video games. Sometimes, it's difficult, but you have to figure out what works best for your child. And perhaps it's just you being around. Like the video games can't teach them, and other things, other people either can't teach them, like can't relate to them emotionally. Like you need to be there for them. I don't know how to say that better, but just because somebody's paying a certain price point, I'm not going to sit here and what we call shuck and jive. I'm not going to shuck and jive. And I liked Kennedy's teacher. She and I think, were the only two African-American teachers in the building, if I can recall. No, there's three. Yes, there's three, which that's not a big deal, but that just paints the picture for you of the atmosphere. And I will not sell my talents out to anyone. I know that I'm a good teacher. I know that I do well with kids. I know that I am able to teach kids discipline also while being loving, because I do it for my kids. So I know that I can do it. I did it for the kids there. But at the end of the day, I feel like I'm stealing. It's not a matter of, oh, I don't like my coworkers, or oh, my coworkers don't like me. Like, all of that stuff doesn't matter. But the fact that I'm lying to the parents when they come and pick up their kids, just not in my character. And then management will come around at the end of the day and like, oh, you're over an hour overtime. You go home and just stick anybody in the classroom. No, these parents are paying for their children to have an experience. That's what they think they're getting. But maybe they're so out of touch with reality that they really don't care what they're getting. They just say, oh, I paid for it, you do it. No, you do it. These are your kids and you're going to do it. And I think we have to get back to the place where as parents, we're doing it. And if you are a person who watching this channel, you don't have kids, listen to me and listen to me clearly. Don't you rush so fast to get to have children if you know for certain that you don't want to slow down your life. Like, you actually, God has called you to climb the corporate chain, whatever, however, calls you to be the big boss, calls you to work all the hours a week, and you're okay with that. Don't try and slow down and change direction if you don't really want to change direction, because it might look like you being in the home. Being a mother is sacrificial. Being a parent is sacrificial. And I know sometimes people's parents pass away, but the person who they are entrusted to, that relationship between you and that child, whether it's your biological child or not, is a sacrificial relationship. And we've gotten so selfish that it's all about us and not about these kids. And they are suffering from all income brackets. You think that it's just in the ghetto. Baby ain't just in the ghetto. Obviously, it's not just in the ghetto. Obviously, it's the same issue across the board. It's that people with more money can cover it up easier because they can afford to hire people like me to come in and say, oh, they had a great day. Oh, yes. Like, I'm not going to sit here and be like, girl, go get your kid. Like, that's not my character. And I'm not going to change who I am to fit into someone else's peg ever again in my life. Ever again in my life. I didn't even... Think about the army and how hard it is to get out. I didn't change it for them. I'm not changing for anyone. This is who God has created me to be. Okay? So right now, the only thing I have to do, I got my girl here, Kennedy. You know, it's summertime for my son, my husband, all that. I have this little area right here. I think I'm going to turn it into like a little Montessori area. So I'm going to redo some of the shelves down here and like make them art, science, with some of the stuff that I have, like little sections. Like I said, for the last 2 weeks, I've just been doing a bunch of nothing, entertaining other people's kids with nothing. Yet I have all this stuff here to entertain my own children. So I'm going to do what I know to do. Now, maybe I'll get a chance to like care for 2 other kids. Maybe not. But I'm going to use what I have right now. And what I have right now is myself, my children, the mindset that God has given me. But I'm not selling myself out. I ain't selling myself out for YouTube. Have you noticed? I got my morning face on right now in a wrinkled t-shirt. I'm not about to get on here, propping up my breast, and I'm not doing any of that. I'm not doing any of that. I'm not going to sell myself out. And I hope that you get in the same mindset, that you're not going to sell yourself out. You will not sell yourself. You are not going to let people prostitute your character and prostitute your talents and abilities to suit them well. You're not going to do that. We are not doing that. Okay? Especially believers. Like, it's time to stand up. Everybody else is standing up. When you going to stand up for what's right? No matter the racial background, no matter the income bracket, you need to stand up for what is right. Okay? All right, so I'm going to organize this stuff. Maybe I'll show you. Maybe not. No, I'll show you. Hold on. So I did not get to catch this, but as soon as I started to show you, my power went out, okay? I completely forgot to pay our electric bill. And I know it's not a big deal, girl, just log on and pay the electric bill. But if I had went to work today, my son would have been at home in the dark. And I would have been at work panicking about how I was going to get home to my son to make sure that the lights were back on. So it just all boils back to, please don't listen to nobody else, okay? Don't listen to anyone else. You need to listen to what the Holy Spirit is telling you for that moment. And sometimes it changes, but you just need to be open for change. And it feels like this is just, I keep pressing at it. It's like I'm chipping away at this big piece of cement and I'm finally seeing the full picture. And I know it looks crazy to you, but God has really been blessing me. Like I'm going to keep going forward. I'm going to keep trying to hit this target until it looks like what God said it was supposed to look like. But I'm no longer going to go in just any crazy old direction, hoping for something else, hoping for a change. God told me I need to get back in the childcare, and guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to go back in childcare. I'm going to keep chipping away at this until it looks like what he said it was going to look like. So what I started to do here, what you're seeing me do, is I was like, you know what? I have this whole little section over here. I'm just going to start to like set up a little center thing. And as soon as I start setting things up, more things just start coming to me. It just starts to come together. So I'm going to take you through the process of me just beginning to set everything up. So before I go off and purchase anything, I'm going to make good use of the things that I already have, because I have so much like school stuff and just craft stuff. We're definitely doing more of a homeschool kind of like free curriculum. I'm not subscribing to any one curriculum, especially because Kennedy's still younger. It's very much kind of like center-based learning. And when I say center, it's just like, you remember centers when we're like in kindergarten. Like that's the learning style that I like. And then like I said earlier, my goal was to at least care for 2 to 4 children. So I am doing this with the mindset that Kennedy's not going to be the only child. Okay, even though it's just her, it's going to start off with just her. I've done this before. You guys know I used to watch my nephew and then it turned into a whole daycare. I'm really taking my time, but in me taking my time, this time I'm going back into this. I'm going back into this with the mindset of God sent me to do it, and I am worth the price that I'm charging, and I'm worth what I can provide for these children is worth it. Okay. And I can't say that I thought that before. Still, my target market is younger women because I was a teenage mother, and at no point I can't jump outside of that space, because that's the space that put the fire in the inside of me. So I'm not going to try to cater to people who can pay more money. That's not important to me. What's important to me is that I stick to what God told me to do. It's important to me, and I can't play with it any longer. And you're going to see something a little later in this video that might shock you, might shock some of y'all, but I'm serious. I'm done playing. So because the hamster cage is at the top, I'm just going to take some of this wood cleaner and clean off all the little shelves and things, because it's very dusty because of the hamster bedding. And I didn't show you, but we actually rehomed the hamster as well. I just, I love the hamster, but I don't love the hamster above what I know that I'm supposed to be doing. You know what I mean? So you still see it right here, but she's no longer in the home with us. Yeah, and then another thing, when childcare licensing comes through and all that kind of stuff, you have to put on it that you have pets, and then some people have allergies to pets and all that kind of thing. So I just totally rehomed her, cleaned up the space, and I'm setting everything up as if it were, a little area for kids. again, like I said, before I purchase anything, I'm just making great use of the things that we already have. So I'm going in Kennedy's room and finding all the little math manipulatives and just all the things that can be, you know, in the front that she doesn't necessarily need in her room. She doesn't play with these Legos at all, so I'm probably going to move them in the front as well. So here it is. I told you guys, some of y'all didn't believe me. My massage license is scheduled for renewal actually at the end of this month, and I have no plans on renewing it. Now, I can't say that anything will change. I don't think that anything will change, but as of right now, I am not renewing my massage license for a number of reasons. Some of which I don't feel led to share, so I'm not going to share them. But just know it's been a long time coming, and I am grateful for everything that I've learned being a massage therapist. I'm grateful for all the people who have learned things from me, but I am on a mission, like I said earlier, to do the thing that I know that I'm supposed to be doing, because in that thing is complete satisfaction. And I don't mean satisfaction as in like, you know, oh, today's a happy day, I feel so good. I mean complete satisfaction as in I'm fulfilled because I know I'm doing the thing that I was placed on this earth to do. And that's a good feeling, okay? So I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, if you have a question, ask a question, and I'll see you in the next one.
Okay. Okay, do you understand? Yes? Yes.